Columbus Blue Jackets hockey on Fox Sports Ohio, brought to you by IGS Energy. Take control of your natural gas and electricity costs and enroll today at IGSenergy.com. By Nationwide. Nationwide is on your side. Find a local agent on Nationwide.com. By your Central Ohio Toyota dealer. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by Huntington. At Huntington, you can bank like a real fan. Get your Blue Jackets debit card at BlueJacketsBanking.com. On the road with the Columbus Blue Jackets tonight from San Jose in the Shark Tank. The Blue Jackets and the Sharks meet for the first of two regular season meetings. This one here in San Jose next month. Back at Nationwide. Sergei Bobrovsky, 12-2-1, 2.03 goals against average and a .933 save percentage in his last 15 appearances. At the opposite end, Antti Niemi, one of three goaltenders for Finland. And that will be heading over to Sochi 0-2 with a 5.48 goals against average over his last three starts against the Blue Jackets. Kimberly, Hassenfratz, the referees, Murray and Grant are the linesmen. Jackets wearing their road whites. The telecast, of course, presented in high definition by Time Warner Cable, and we are underway as Tooten kicks it ahead to Johansson. Looking for Boone Jenner, picked off there by Thornton. Marlowe walks in, shot there by Burns, and it's sent wide of the net. Stewart off the point. Horton finishing a check there. Those two continue to battle. Tooten now holding off Marlowe. Thornton will walk out of the corner and throw it back here to Stewart, who lets one fly. The shot is blocked by Horton, and the Jackets move away. And Johansson's got a breakaway. Walks in, shoots, and sends it high. He had Niemi beat, but he sent it over top of the net.
Well, that's what the Jackets were looking for. Again, good quick transition through the neutral zone. Johansson, he's the guy you want left all alone. Made the right move, but just missed the net.
And what a great pass by Nathan Horton to spring him free. Outstanding start here for the Jackets line. Atkinson, who, not unlike Dubinsky, has been awfully strong in the second of back-to-backs point-wise. In fact, in 10 back-to-backs, Atkinson has 10 points. Bouncing puck at the line. It's tossed back into the zone. Wisniewski, a game-time decision once more. He's a gamer, and he's in the lineup despite a broken toe on that right foot. And he took a couple of other shots late in the game last night. A clearing pass by Demers into Jackets territory. Wisniewski will play it. Approaching the 2-minute mark. Up along the wall. Bouncing puck behind the Jackets net. As promised, Jody Shelley is rinkside. He'll be joining us throughout the contest. Jody, first couple of minutes, how do they look like from down there?
It's crazy. It's great. I like to see that 219s going head-to-head. Thornton and Johansson. Lots of traffic in front here. Sergei's got to do a lot of work to find this puck.
Up high, Demers. Demers with a shot that's deflected off the side of the net. Sharks get it again. Quick shot. And it was deflected wide. McCarthy throws it up high. That's Scott Hannon. Hannon now assisted on both goals, and that went over Dallas in overtime on Wednesday night. A clearing pass for Umberger fails. It is picked up by Shepard.
That was a good job by Sergei Bobrovsky to fight through that traffic. Good chances by the San Jose Sharks.
And Jody, they really feed off of this crowd if they can get them started early.
Yeah, the crowd's electric, and the crowd wants to see goals. Only 10 goals in the last 8 games for the Sharks. Blue Jackets got to get on them early.
Jody, you played in this building as a member of the Sharks. Is this the loudest building in the league, or one of them?
It's unbelievable, and in playoffs, every building's another level, but this was intense.
Now, the smaller building is on the smaller side of most of the buildings. You look around the National Hockey League.
It's got an older acoustic sound. It's almost like a tin can in some sense. In a good way.
That's good.
Glad you explained that.
Good cover.
You know what I mean.
Yes, I do. Again, not many buildings that you have as much metal like this, especially this roof. We're right close to it.
Well, we are at the roof. Yeah. We're up to the rafters. No doubt about this one tonight. We've already had a couple of tweets on it. Right wing, Marlowe drops it back. There's Thornton from the sharp angle. Stop made by Bobrovsky. Burns now attempting to bank one in off Bobrovsky, who alertly gets the glove on it and holds on. How about the Toyota Keys presented by your Central Ohio Toyota dealer?
Well, and still Columbus Blue Jackets will, again, to continue to play from the heart. The pride is gained from consistent work ethic against that opposition. Dissect the San Jose defense. You want to be able to, and you're going to see it, you're going to expect a lot of block shots. You can expect some giveaways if you pressure them, and you can expect some takeaways. They play aggressive. You talk about the coach talking about a north game. They like to be able to make that quick transition and discipline throughout the ice.
From the draw. Sharks, Shepard turns away, and there's a puck that's deflected after winning the faceoff. Shepard spun around and then fired it towards the net, and it certainly was redirected in front of Bobrovsky, and the Sharks are up 1-0.
No, exactly right. Again, off of that draw, and again, you got two teams right now that are ranked in the top 10 in the National Hockey League in faceoffs. They win that little battle, and then watch the shot. Again, just a good, quick shot by Shepard, directing it to the net, and it catches Bobrovsky on that short side, glove side, and Jody, you're right on top of it.
It hit John McCarthy. It was a good play there by Shepard. He just turned up, and that's 3 plays now to these 5 shots or 4 shots that the San Jose Sharks have taken from bad angles. Almost one was below the goal line.
Now, definitely we saw that redirection, and it is a 1-0 San Jose lead. And you've got to credit Shepard, who showed patience, who waited, spun around, and sent it towards the net, then redirected. Bobrovsky had no chance. Chipped off the wall and into Columbus territory. Played there by Murray. On the wing, Atkinson colliding there with Dubinsky. And Martin Havlat will pick it up. Havlat with a goal and an assist in that Dallas win. Coming back recently from injury, Martin Havlat stood up at the line in front of Bobrovsky and no further play. Well, there's Todd McClelland, and tonight a milestone for him. Guys, he becomes the all-time leader in games coached behind the San Jose bench, surpassing Daryl Sutter by 1 at 435.
And Jody, you sat in that room with Todd. What's he like?
He's great. He brought a lot of the Detroit right wing system where he came from here and implemented for the Sharks. Really brought an up-tempo game, and you know, he's been here a while for a reason.
Good eye on that deflection, Jody. McCarthy, who was called up earlier on today, picks up his first goal of the season. And his first in 74 games played with the San Jose Sharks Hockey Club. Shepard draws the lone assist. It was his heads-up play that sets up McCarthy for the first goal of the game.
Well, the Jackets need more zone time here now. They got to get down and take a page out of the Sharks book to get the puck to the net.
Well, they certainly had the better of the scoring chances early on with the breakaway for Johansson. Tried to go top shelf and set it over top of the net. Looking high on Niemi. Puck played. Demers. Left wing feed. Jardin on for Wingels, who had that overtime game winning. He fires a shot on that far side and ricochets all the way back up high. Burish chops it wide of the net. Burish goes to the front now. He'll circle behind. Savard tying him up. And Boyle off the point. Boyle chips behind the net for Burish. Vlasic with a shot. And that, too, deflected, but Bobrovsky was able to turn aside, and there's a hit on Nikitin.
Bad. He was falling down on the way in, and he got extra shoved. He's getting up, but, boy, that looks scary from down here. Good to see him getting up.
Now, let's see. Again, Mike Hassenfatz was right on top of that play. And you'll take a look right there. And, again, Burish has a stick inside, and then a little bit of a push catching Nikitin. Well, I'll tell you what, Nikitin's fortunate that he was able to get up and get himself to the bench.
There you go. Sorry, I'm getting challenged here by the mascot, Sharky. All right.
So the Jackets go to the power play. Nikitin's fine. He's on the bench. Columbus in the top half now in the National Hockey League in power play efficiency. They are 37 for 195, 19%. Tied for 10th on the penalty kill are these Sharks, who've killed off 38 of the last 44. And Fred Calvert goes between the legs and tries to center a pass across the goal mouth with Wisniewski right on the doorstep.
We had a chance to watch that power play, and that's exactly what they look for. They get it off the half boards, and you can see Calvert as a left-handed shot. He likes to be able to pull it back to the forehand, either between the legs with a pass or back to the forehand, and then roop it once he gets into the blue of the crease. But a play right there, but again, goaltender coming up big in the Emmy.
Like how Wisniewski's got his stick and his body right in there, too, trying to generate something from the point.
Incidentally, that goal by McCarthy, that is the first time since the 28th of last month that the Blue Jackets have given up the first goal of the hockey game. That was a game against the Ottawa Senators. DaCosta had the goal that night. Calvert in front. Atkinson circles the net. On to Dubinsky. Matt Calvert, dangerous in front of Niemi. And that San Jose net. Jackets looking to tie it up here. Wisniewski up high. Atkinson. The shot is blocked and it's sent back out to center ice.
It just shows through Calvert. You do not have to be a big man to be able to set up shop in front of that in front of the goaltender. You have to be prepared to take a lot of abuse.
Jack Johnson, who scored that power play goal last night, got the Jackets going. Out there currently with Wisniewski. Atkinson continues to work up front with Dubinsky and Calvert. Jackets power play now less than a minute. Desjardins through and across the line. Wisniewski defends. Up high, Hannon. Hannon walks in. A centering pass there for Wingles. Fails. Calvert blows a tire there. Gets right back up. Long shift for him. And a long way to the bench from there.
Wisniewski just laid out Desjardins when he dumped that puck or made that drop pass. Wisniewski took advantage and just put him right on his back. Good play in front of the bench for the Blue Jackets.
Thornton taking the Anisimov pass. Ryan Murray, happy to say, none the worse for wear after taking that high hit last night in Los Angeles. Johansson reaching for it off the wall, able to knock down the attempted clear there by Demers. Final seconds ticking off. And the Burrish penalty. Anisimov from a sharp angle. Jackets up high. Johansson settles that bouncing puck down. On to Turton. Artem Anisimov. Horton sets the screen in front. Nobody on San Jose shot aside anywhere near Nathan Horton, but the Jackets unable to penetrate that San Jose defense. Team's back at full strength. 12 and a half minutes left opening period.
Well, you get the energy now. You get an opportunity in that power play. Nothing happening. Now the energy has to come 5-on-5.
Thornton knocks it out of the air. It's played there by David Savard. On to Jack Johnson. Johnson, cross ice. Umberger will just rifle in. Niemi out of the net to play. Jackets force a turnover below that goal line. Braun will try again. Gets it to Burns. Left wing feed for Marleau with Thornton. On to Thornton, back to Marleau. Marleau with a shot, and it's turned aside. Bobrovsky.
Well, a great job again, transition by San Jose, and it's exactly what
Oh, what a stop.
they do. Oh, baby.
Burns denied. Here's Hannon, and he scores. Another deflection in front. I believe Marleau got it. 2-0.
They want to come across that line with speed, and they do it in straight lines. And then they don't give up on the puck. Bobrovsky comes up and makes one heck of a save to be able to keep it at a 1-0 game. But then you look at the Sharks. They are hounding, and you can see Marleau's stick on the ice as that shot was taken from the point. Again, Hannon lets it go, but it looked like Marleau might have got the tip on it.
And that'll be his 23rd of the year, and only his second goal in the last 7 games. While the Sharks have lost the 4 previous games to the Blue Jackets. And Jody, they came out here looking and hunting from the opening faceoff.
They're really creating offensive chances from below the goal line. Joe Thornton with that pass there really started that, and they're throwing everything in front of Sergei and getting bodies there. Tough night so far for these guys, the Blue Jackets.
San Jose goal scored by 27, Hannon.
Now they're giving the goal right now to Hannon. So Hannon will now ride a goal-scoring streak, pending a change. And that's goals in back-to-back games for Hannon, who got it started against Dallas. Desjardins will stop. Bobrovsky comes up with it off the stick of Desjardins. 11:03 left. Opening period from San Jose. 2-0. 2-0. Sharks storm out to the early lead. Elk and Elk injury report.
Well, both teams all year have had certainly a lot of numbers when it comes to injured players. The Jackets at that 238 mark. San Jose at 235. But the Jackets finally getting themselves back and healthy. Gaborik is skating. Bowl, he has started to skate a little bit. And you look down that right side with San Jose. Their numbers are there. They lost Nieto the other night against Dallas.
From the drop, Sharks control in Jackets territory. Off the wall and out. Backing up Demers. Pressured there by Calvert. Far side Vlasic on to Shepard. Vlasic got a loud cheer during that commercial break. Sharks and the Blue Jackets were introduced, at least those that were headed over to Sochi to represent their respective countries in the Olympics. And the loudest cheer, certainly on the Shark side, was for Joe Pavelski. Vlasic certainly got a loud cheer. He's out on the ice here currently with Demers, and Calvert will sweep in.
Nice one for Todd Richards, too, up there. Coach of USA. The fans appreciate what he did here with the Sharks and representing the USA.
Absolutely.
Right now, the Jackets have to get back and put the nose to the grindstone. They've got to get more physical. They've got to get the puck below the goal line. Just
nice
like right
move.
now. Start moving across that line.
Great move and a goal! Outstanding move by Jack Johnson. He walked around the defense, and Boone Jenner able to send it home, but it is being waved off here, or at least, hang on, there's a discussion, and it will go to review.
That's exactly what they needed to do, and let's go ahead and take a look and see exactly what did happen. But again, they talked about the transition, getting up the ice quickly. You've had a chance to watch Tootin. You've had now a chance to watch Johnson, and then you take a look. Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know why they would wave this off from that initial one unless that stick is up high. But let's take a look as it comes in the blue of the crease. You see Jenner. Looks like it goes off the body.
Might have been off his elbow.
Yeah, that's more off the body than it is anything else.
Now
It
it's
hits
going
the
to
stick.
review.
It hits the stick, and then it hits the body.
Ooh. How does that work?
Well, that's a good goal, Jody. That is a good goal. If it's initially off of the stick and into the net, that's like a secondary play coming in off the body.
Well, let's set this up here now. The folks in Toronto are looking at it. It is under review. Now, it was waved off on the ice, so it would have to be conclusive in Toronto with the suggestion that it, in fact, as we looked at it, went off Jenner's body and there was no direct hand motion or whatever. And jump in here, Jody, if you've got a thought. But, again, it would have to be conclusive to overrule the initial ruling here on the ice.
Yeah, they obviously know what they're doing. They're going to call and get this right. I like the details. I like how they get things right and take their time with these types of things. I like what Jenner did there, and Jack Johnson. Jenner went to the net. Johnson made the play happen with good speed, and those are basic hockey fundamentals, and that's what the Jackets got to do here now to get back on the San Jose Shark team.
Well, you like the speed. That was the key.
Well, Jack Johnson just blew by.
The transition right now by the Jackets being able to get up the ice, and that has been told for the last week and a half. Get up the ice, either with the legs or with that initial puck movement. Let's listen to the call.
The review is determined that the stick was above the crossbar. Therefore, the call there said no goal.
And with that, we will step aside. 9:58 left. 2-0. San Jose.
Nothing here at the Shark Tank about halfway through the first period. Jody, how do the Blue Jackets dig themselves out of this hole?
Well, they know what they have to do. They have to get on their game. They really haven't done it yet this game, maybe the first shift with that breakaway. Basic hockey, get the puck to the net, go after these Sharks. They're a fragile group. They got a lot of guys missing, and they're struggling to score.
And one step at a time, right? You can't score 2 goals at once.
No, go for a single. Can't hit a home run here early.
Now you go back to that initial play where Johansson goes in all alone. It's the first 2 minutes of the hockey game, and has the goaltender beat, unable to put it away. And a beautiful pass by Horton. But as Jody says, now get back to taking the body in a good solid forecheck.
Johansson set for this face-off against Burns, wins it cleanly. Johansson awfully strong last night. He won 12 of 15, 80% in Los Angeles against the Kings. Takes the puck at center. Horton, a drop pass across the line. Horton pulls up on the half-board, sends it to Tootin, ricochets wide. Jenner is there at the side of the net, unable to get a stick on it initially. Now a centering feed. Horton lets one fly. That shot is blocked. Jenner gets it right back, throws it back to the defense, unable to play it. The Jackets will regroup for neutral ice.
Well, it's a good shift right after. Again, the good work by Horton as well as the work in close by Jenner, which you want to see.
Johansson around the net. Johansson sends it in on Niemi. Jenner tried to redirect. Walked out of the zone, and Havlat sends one bouncing into Jackets territory. Ringels held off. Pavelski sends cross ice. Jackets Johansson will flip to center. Dan Boyle back to retrieve. Approaching the 11-minute mark. Opening period. Sharks lead if you joined us late. McCarthy and Hannon scoring 5 minutes apart. Giving the Sharks to lead. Anisimov. Along the wall, Umberger able to set it free for Foligno. Cannon chasing. Umberger tried to knock it out of the air. There's Anisimov walking to the front of the net. Spins, turns, fired off Niemi, who collides with his own defenseman there, Dan Boyle. And the Sharks able to clear the zone. Bobrovsky left for Wisniewski. Off the wall to center. Matt Calvert looking for Dubinsky, who gets away from Stewart. Left wing at center. Puck rifled into Jackets territory. Up along the boards. A shot blocked in front of Bobrovsky, and away goes Dubinsky. Leads the rush to center. Stewart trailing. Blessed fights off the check there of Atkinson. Calvert had it briefly. Shepard now with a backhand pass. It's out of the zone.
I like the two shifts for the last two shifts for the Blue Jackets here, guys. That general line with Johansson, now this line with Dubinsky. Being assertive and working hard, trying to turn the tables.
Yeah, you need now to try to sustain that, right, Jody? Get that puck deep, be patient, and force their D to play it.
Just kind of get your feet under you. I feel like they're trying to do that right now, and they're having a little success with it.
Corey Tropp across the line, chopped away from Letestu's stick. Here is Brown, slips and falls, gets right back up. Tropp finishing a check there. And Keaton under control. Will dish. Better Tootin. Looking there for McKenzie. Pressure below that goal line. Tropp. This is the energy line out there to create something here. Desjardins hammered along the boards. Letestu steps into his man. Thrown back, and a quick shot there by McKenzie sends wide of the net.
Right idea. He's got traffic. Just let a little shot go. Almost pays dividends.
Shot from a sharp angle. Down is Niemi. And a quick whistle. And we'll get a face-off. Well, just a reminder as you enjoy a cold one to look forward to Miller Time. Later in tonight's contest, it's brought to you by Miller Lite.
Well, there's a look at Jack Johnson. Again, he has been playing so well, he and Tootin together, but his transition up the ice, that initial first pass that he is utilizing, and shooting the puck, he's blocking shots, and right now he's being rewarded offensively as well with a big goal last night in L.A.
Thornton and Johansson. And here we say, Johansson's favorite player, and a big reason why he wears that number 19, a guy by the name of Thornton. The referee dropped and is slow to get up. That is Mike Hassenfratz. He's now back on his feet and favoring his right elbow. Shot for the point there by Tootin. Thornton now fires, and that's wide of the net on the deflection. Johansson. Thornton cycling out. Thornton. Looking for some open real estate. Sends it back to Jack Johnson off Niemi and wide.
Ever since that non-goal called, guys, they've been down in that offensive zone. Good sign here for the Jackets.
Jenner pressuring. And it's played here by Tootin. No doubt, we don't really see smothering defensive coverage by these Sharks in their zone. They're thinking offense.
They're quick on the transition, that's for sure, but they really protect Niemi, though, in front. Blocking shots, you've seen that early. A few shots have been blocked, and I just like the poise here of the Jackets.
And, Jody, you know, in the NHL, worst lead in hockey is a 2-goal lead. Plenty of time in this one.
I've heard that before.
I bet you have. 5:34 left. Opening period from San Jose. Sharks in front.
Now there's a look at Joe Pavelski. Again, another product of that 2003 draft, 7th-round pick. And tell you what, they are having one heck of a day up in Plover, Wisconsin, which is his hometown. Today it is declared Joe Pavelski Day. And tell you what, the third star of the month of January. What a game. 12 goals in 15 games. The last 3 games he played, 3 game-winning goals.
How about that? Joe Pavelski Day. I wonder what they do for Joe Pavelski Day. It's very interesting.
Yeah, you're going to have to ask him.
The day off? Shovel snow?
Anisimov with a backhand attempt that sails wide. Sent up. Second effort. Pavelski chops it out of the air, and Anisimov back to defend.
He's a solid player.
5 minutes left.
He's a solid player, and he works hard, I'll tell you, Joe Pavelski.
Get a chance to play in his second Olympic Games. Won the silver back in 2010. It was Jack Johnson, one of his teammates.
Rubinski dumps in, and Demers sends it right back out. 4:40 left. How good is it to see Ryan Murray back tonight, Jody?
Yeah, it is great. That was a tough hit to watch, but even admitted today he didn't think it was a bad hit. We thought it was bad, but boy, at the time it was scary to see him not come out on the ice for 2 shifts.
Rubinski circling the net from the right wing. The shot sails off the side of the net, and the Emmy able to play it off that backboard. No further play.
Well, Columbus Blue Jackets hockey is brought to you by Nationwide Insurance, the official insurance provider of your Columbus Blue Jackets. And remember, Nationwide is on your side. Well, every time you come into new buildings, the one thing that you get pucks bouncing off those end boards. And there's an example of it coming right back out. Niemi, he just checks over his shoulder, makes that save.
Kenzie from the right wing board sends it high and wide to the net. Stewart hammered there by McKenzie. A clearing pass to the right wing for Brown just beyond his hockey stick. And it's Leicester on for the keep. Less than 4 minutes left. Jackets find Leicester on the right wing. Desjardins defends. Oh boy, he took a bit of an elbow there from Brown. And play call. Calling it on a high stick.
I don't think there's going to be any penalty called, but boy, did he get railed on that high stick, and I don't know, is it offside or high stick? It's high stick, and it moves inside the zone.
That's where they're moving it.
Well, it's a high sticking call then. But Trop just got buried. That fourth line, I'll tell you what, when they get the opportunity, and that's what you need from them right now. You're looking to get some energy. Love to be able to get a goal here before the end of the period.
3:45 left. Morton knocked down. Ian Hannon behind the play as Burns looks cross ice. Thornton plays it off the wall offside.
Well, before the Jackets hit the ice, get ready to join the battle on Blue Jackets Live on Fox Sports Ohio. Blue Jackets Live is brought to you by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers. Let's go places.
Ryan Johansson 3 for 3 against Joe Thornton head-to-head in faceoffs. And what that means is that Burns is now stepping in to see if he can beat him. A testimony of just how much this young man is improving in all facets of the game. Would you say?
He's riding a high right now. And you talked about it. His idol.
Just drew a penalty there. It was a speed through the middle. He got tripped up.
Bobrovsky out. Extra attacker on. That's Anisimov. 3:22 left. So the Jackets will go to the power play for the second time in this opening period. Marleau gets the gate. The call is tripping.
Good opportunity here for the Columbus Blue Jackets, guys. Late in the period with a power play opportunity. Have to take advantage of these ones in this game.
Well, you really do. You look at how many times, and you go back to that game last night. You don't have to look any further, but you score a power play goal 1:40 in, and then the rest of the night, it's a no-for.
From the faceoff. Sharks control, running it around the wall and off the netting, so another faceoff will take place this time.
We'll watch the Blue Jackets in style in a Nationwide Arena luxury suite. Entertaining in a suite means the finest and personalized service, comfortable seating, ample meeting space, and privacy. And for more information, contact the Blue Jackets Group's event specialist at 614-246-PUCK or visit BlueJackets.com.
That was quite comical. Players on the ice, the 4 officials, everybody pointing to a different direction as to where the faceoff should take place after the puck went out of play.
Yeah, that's natural. And now every time a puck goes over the boards, everyone points.
And they all point in different directions.
Not very good salesman.
Wisniewski settles it down. He leads the Jackets in power play points. 19 of them. 17 are assists. Anisimov. On for Johansson. Shot. Foligno getting an opportunity to play here with Anisimov and Johansson. Jackets try to get on the board here. Normally we had seen Nathan Horton out there in that regard.
San Jose right now is starting to pressure up a little bit higher, and if they drop it down into the corner, that guy in the corner has got to be able to get to the net quick.
Dubinsky drops it back here for Wisniewski. Wisniewski cross-ice Jack Johnson. Calvert sets the screen in front. Matt Calvert on for Dubinsky. Lets one fly. The shot blocked. Right back to Dubinsky. 50 seconds left. Another attempt. Ricochets twice. Off sticks and then wide to the open corner. And Velasquez's able to send it down the ice.
That's what you can expect all night long. They're going to blanket you up in front. They're in the top 5 in block shots in the National Hockey League.
I love what James Wisniewski just did there. He's got one of the hardest shots in the NHL. He kept his head up and just directed it in the net and got it through. That's how he's getting all those assists.
Keith not able to keep it in. Pressure coming from Wingles. Back is Tutin to defend. Over the stick there of Matt Calvert. The Jackets hustle into the zone as the Emmy shovels to the corner. Final 15 seconds of the power play. Good recovery there by Atkinson. And the zone is cleared with Bobrovsky coming out to make the play and 5 seconds remaining in that penalty. McKee on there for Fedor Tutin. Hamburger out there with Lechesky and Boone Jenner. Thornton away at center. Thornton across the line. The San Jose captain puts on the brake, slips and falls. Laid there by Tutin on to Boone Jenner. Cross ice for Hamburger. Less than a minute to go. Opening period. Carried in here by Marleau. Marleau with a shot. Stick save Bobrovsky. Backhanded by Umberger, and it's out to center.
That's a set play there. Patty Marleau's on his backhand, throws it off the pad to try to create something in front. Good job by the Blue Jackets defense.
Centering feed. There is Bobrovsky the stop. Off the stick, up into the glove, and he will hold on.
Well, that's where, again, that back pressure has to be there, and you give it that opportunity to watch Horton come back. And you're right, Jody, that's the simple play that you can make, and they'll do it anywhere. And you can see Pavelski find the lane, but how about that job by Horton coming back?
Yeah, that's a good job by Horton. Those are the critical areas in front of the ice. They'll welcome those cross-ice passes because those guys are ready for that. It's those tough plays off the boards and off the goalie that'll trick you.
Pavelski. Johansson set for this face-off. And from the draw. The puck unfairly dropped. They'll do it all over again. Pavelski sends it on. Bobrovsky will hold on.
No face-offs again. Very critical. You look at the time. We talked about both teams having success in the face-off circle. In fact, you look at the depth of the San Jose Sharks. They've got 6 guys over 50% in their draws. And you don't go any further than having Pavelski in that face-off circle. One of the best.
Guys, you wouldn't believe the chatter down here on both sides. Centerman, Pavelski's directing traffic. Horton's talking to Murray. Johnson's talking to Johansson. Both sides are setting up here for this play.
Hansen hit below that goal line. Foligno's clearing pass. Horton in pursuit. Havlat tosses to the far side. Pavelski scoops it up with 20 seconds left. Vlasic. Demers. Demers steps to the blue line. Looks up that left wing. Met. Offside Havlat. And we have 10.8 seconds remaining. And we will remind you that all rights to this broadcast are reserved. And any rebroadcast, recording, retransmission, or other use of the broadcast without the express written consent of the Columbus Blue Jackets is expressly prohibited.
Well, the conversation is there. And again, when you've got time left on the clock, you can always have a conversation.
Yeah, you talk. If you win it, you're going to do this. If you're going to lose it,
whoa,
you do
quick
that.
Shot there, and there was more than enough with 10 seconds left. McKenzie sent it right on. And there is the horn to end this opening period of play. A little discussion going on. Corey Trop having words there with Kearns of the Sharks. But a pair of goals. McCarthy and Hannon just past the 8-minute mark. And the Sharks lead 2-0 after one. Columbus Blue Jackets hockey on Fox Sports Ohio. Brought to you by Ohio Health, the official health care provider of your Columbus Blue Jackets. By Ticketmaster. Score. Get the only NHL tickets sold by fans and verified by Ticketmaster. It's all hockey, no hassle right now at NHL.com/ticket exchange. Back here in the building, the Shark Tank, where Jody Shelley once roamed left wing. And he's roaming downstairs rinkside for us tonight. Jody, take us in the dressing room. What did Todd Richards have to say to his hockey club after that first period?
Well, they didn't weather the storm at the start, the first 10 minutes, but I felt that they've got their footing. Probably just told them to settle down and play your game, and you'll have a chance to win this thing.
Just underway in the second. Horton chips ahead, looking there for Boone Jenner. Locked down, Johansson, he shoots and scores. The clearing attempt. Knocked down by Johansson. He failed on a breakaway in the early moments of the first period. He does not miss here. It's a 2-1 hockey game, and the Jackets are right back in it.
Well, he continues to put up the points. Again, another 5-game streak. But watch the positioning, and you watch San Jose trying to go up through the middle of the ice. They give the puck away. Johansson, again, he's in position, knocks it down, then watch the release. And that's the key on this goal. You have that shot, and you can see Niemi, he wasn't ready, beats him on that stick side. But a beautiful job by the Jackets to be able to counter and get things rolling.
24th goal of the year. It's a 2-1 hockey game.
Great job by Nathan Horton on the forecheck to get on Joe Thornton to cause that puck to bounce right to Johansson, who shot it on the fly. He was rolling.
Jackets send it up and out. Dubinsky trying to get a stick on it. Held up there by Stewart. Wingles now looks rink wide. Havlat across the line. Havlat drops a pass for Pavelski. Dances away from Calvert. Tried to throw it in front, defending neatly was Dubinsky, and the Jackets able to clear the zone. Johansson with his 24th.
Good way to start the period for the Blue Jackets, guys.
Well, that's exactly what you needed, Jody. And again, as a coach talking to the players, and you said it, just be patient. Continue your work ethic. It has been there for the last 2 weeks. And right now, just continue what you're doing.
McCarthy attempts to clear. Umberger sends it off the wall. Hannon in pursuit, and Nisimov gets there quickly. Good work there by Nisimov. On for Nick Foligno. Umberger camped in front of the net. Foligno chased by Dan Boyle. Foligno dropping it back to Nikitin. Nikitin rings it around the boards. McCarthy tried to hold off Umberger. Anisimov along the boards against Shepard. Jackets let one fly. Niemi off his glove.
Looked like it hit Umberger on the way in there. Niemi stayed with it.
That's what the Jackets have to continue to do. They don't have to be hard shots. Just direct it to the net. Force that goaltender to play.
And Boyle off the wall. McCarthy able to play it. Play has been called.
Scott Hannon
an injured
is down
player.
there.
Hannon is down and in a heap of trouble.
It's one thing you do not see a lot of, and that's Scotty Hannon down on the ice.
He recently came back from an injury. He was out for some time.
James Shepard is down here just yelling at both refs. He doesn't like what happened.
Well, Well, it appeared to be a high stick, and there you can see Scotty again on that left eye.
Shepard still lobbying the official Hassenfratz.
Apparently he's the only one that saw it.
Well, let's take another look at that and take a look at Shepard's stick this time. Oh boy, yeah, you want to believe it. Yeah, Jody, could you see it from that angle? I mean, that was a hatchet. And from his own player.
Right.
Well, he's complaining. What he's complaining is it was the Blue Jackets player that lifted his stick and forced his stick into the face of Hannon.
Well, the key is you have to be responsible for your own, no matter what happens.
Brown, who's throwing that body around, missing the Keaton with a hit. Jackets, McKenzie finishing a check, and in turn, Trop with a hit on Brown. Backhanded by Bursch, that's wide of the net. Brown and Trop come together. Desjardins out of the corner from a sharp angle. It's off the side of the net, bounces to the right wing boards. The puck bouncing away from McKenzie, chopped into the corner by Brown. Quickly played by Savard. Sharps going to the body. Jackets walk out of the zone. This is McKenzie. Flips to the open corner.
This is the territory that you know, Jody. Again, fourth lines playing against each other. What's it feel like?
Yeah, they're both trying to get the energy going there. You see Brown up there trying to run around, but I like what Corey Trott did. He kind of balanced it out, went right back at him, stood in his face and said, I'm right here if you want it.
Tutu with a clearing pass, unable to get it to Johansson. Stewart cross ice. Burns, Marlowe, Thornton. Shot there by Braun. Circling the net, thrown up high. Stewart lets one fly. There's Bobrovsky on the edge of the goal crease. He'll hold on, little pushing and shoving in front of the Columbus net. Not much going to develop here. And by the way, that goal from that opening period originally credited to Hannon, as we thought initially. It was in fact deflected in front, and now credited to Patrick Marleau, his 23rd of the year. Hannon and Burns draw the assist. That's now official.
Well, right now on FoxSportsOhio.com, Rick Gethin, he writes that the National Hockey League do a better job of protecting its players. Sam Amico, he breaks down the Chris Grant era in Cleveland, and a look at Kyle Shanahan's approach as he takes the Browns to the new offense that they'll be running. Get complete coverage of all of today's action involving Ohio sports on FoxSportsOhio.com.
Jack Johnson goes off for slashing, so the first power play up for the San Jose Sharks.
He's got 4 minutes,
struggled.
I think he's got a 4 minute. He got slashing and holding the stick.
A second penalty assessed, holding the stick. So that's at 3:28. A double minor for Jack Johnson. 18th in power play efficiency, 37 goals, exactly the same number as the Blue Jackets. But they've had 210 power play chances, 17.6%. Jackets slightly ahead with the same number of goals and 195 opportunities. Jackets on the kill, 16th in the league at 81.8%. And with these back-to-back double minors, the Jackets are going to have to be sharp. Pavelski deals it back. One-timer by Boyle. Save Bobrovsky. Rebound. Jackets get to it, and it's backhanded out.
You know, that's the set play. Again, they like to be able to get Boyle on that backside, and he'll usually throw that fake and go back the other way, but that time he had little traffic in front of the net.
And Boyle drops it back for Thornton. Right wing feed. Carried in and across the line. Braun hustles in off the point. Far side of the ice. Matt Calvert shorthanded. He's got Umberger sprinting down the right side. Calvert fires wide of the net, off that backboard. Umberger reached for it, unable to play it. And the Sharks come out of their own zone. Burns on to Thornton. Right wing goes Havlat. Ripped around the wall. Havlat in deep. Murray defends. Thornton able to come up with that puck. Drops it back here to Vlasic. Vlasic moving into Demers. Redirected by Murray and off the mark. But Thornton plays it once more. Calvert defending. Vlasic on here to Demers. Demers floats it towards the net. That purposely missing the mark, but Thornton had to play it off the wall. Vlasic fires from a distance. Jackets block it in front off Savard.
Yeah, good aggressive play there by the goaltender Bobrovsky.
Swept wide of the net. Thornton rims it around the board. 2 minutes, 12 seconds left of the double minor to Jack Johnson. Burns now, moving in. Fires a shot. It's blocked. Savard stepping in front of it. Comes back to Demers once more. Right-handed shot on the left point. Moves over to the right side. Burns lets one fly. That's wide of the net. Vlasic. Burns now once more. And Calvert able to get a stick in front of that attempt.
That's twice for Calvert with that stick.
Up high, Vlasic. Looking into the slot. There's his shot. Bobrovsky fights it off with the blocker. And it's out of play. Well, here is why Jack Johnson picked up that double minor.
You can see it down in front of the net. Look at the high stick. And then the little pitchfork.
Low stick.
Low stick. That's good call there, Jody. High to low, baby. No worse the wear.
Well.
Pavelski cross ice. Back at the point. One-timer there. Blocked by the Jackets. Wisniewski. Who else?
The puck magnet.
James Wisniewski taking that one off the right leg once more. Good thing there's an Olympic break for James Wisniewski.
I was just thinking, Joe, you know, he's going someplace warm. He may want to go someplace where it's cold. He's going to need a lot of ice for that body.
You can get ice in a warm spot.
Yes, you can.
Here we go. Boyle with a minute left on the power play. Collision between Dubinsky and Havlat. And Havlat's going to get the penalty for interference.
And the Jackets will have an opportunity, a little over a minute on a power play in 59 seconds.
Havlat goes off for interference, knocking down Dubinsky. We'll play 4-on-4 for 59 seconds, and then the Jackets go to the power play.
Now, this is where a lot of things happen through that neutral zone, killing penalties on the power play, and you can see Dubinsky being interfered with. Havlat takes away his space as Dubinsky's trying to come over and put a little pressure on, and Havlat goes to the penalty box.
From the face-off, Vlasic circling the net. Niemi camped in front. Marking out directions. Clearing pass for McCarthy, who scored the first of the 2 goals in that opening period for San Jose. Murray camped briefly behind Bobrovsky. Foligno. Murray remains out with Nikitin, a new defensive partner, after Wisniewski blocked that last shot. Keep an eye on James here. Foligno. To the point, Nikitin. R.J. Umberger. Umberger along the wall. Jackets 18 seconds away from a power play. It'll be their third of the night. In the meantime, Vlasic steps in and across the line. Nikitin defending. Picked up there by Desjardins. Down and holding on is Bobrovsky with 8 seconds remaining in Jack Johnson's double minor. The Jackets will go to the power play in 8 seconds when we come back.
Well, welcome back to San Jose, where the Sharks are leading the Blue Jackets 2-1 with 12:40 left here in the second period. I like the way the Columbus Blue Jackets have started this period. They got an early goal by Ryan Johansson. They just negated a 4-minute penalty that was given to Jack Johnson by drawing one by Brandon Dubinsky. It sets up well. A little frustration coming in on the San Jose Sharks. You need that.
Well, Jody, interestingly enough, with 8 seconds left in the Jack Johnson double minor, the Jackets have 3 forwards out there. James Wisniewski, the lone defender, and Jack Johnson immediately will join the club as they are 4 seconds away from their third power play. They're 0 for 2. They've had 4 shots of the previous 2 power plays, and Jack Johnson steps out. Jackets with the extra man, and they'll work out of their own end. Wisniewski. I know ill effects of yet the latest shot that he has blocked. Anisimov in the corner, turned around there by Stewart. Braun hammers it around the boards. Jack Johnson able to pitch it along the wall. Gets it to Horton, who slips and falls. Able to keep it in with a good second effort. Wisniewski off the point in front for Johansson. That one handcuffed him. Anisimov trying to play the puck. It goes right back to Stewart. Reaching in, Johansson. Onto Anisimov. Braun defends. Horton comes up with it. Nathan Horton now looking to walk out. Sends it back to Jack Johnson. Wisniewski. Johansson. Johansson. No look pass there for Anisimov. Horton looking for some open ice in the slot. 11:40 left in the period. Final seconds of the power play. Anisimov walking to the net. Knocked off his stick. Played there by Stewart. It goes off the official for the second time. He's been banged up. He's in the corner. That's Kimberly. Outsteps Havlat. And Kimberly's in some difficulty. Oh, excuse me. Hassenfratz in some difficulty. Horton circles the net. Back at full strength.
He rolled his eyes when he got hit as if to say, again? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he took that spill earlier on in the hockey game and fell on his elbow. Havlat. Dangerous to be an official.
Yeah, I guess so.
Wisniewski's going to get a penalty here for cross-checking as Pavelski goes down.
No,
now I know why he didn't want to ever become a referee and wanted to be an NHL player, Jody.
Well, I can't rule it out yet.
Well, let's listen to the call here with Greg Kimmerly.
Columbus penalty number 21, 2 minutes, cross-check.
Well, let's take a look again coming back. The San Jose Sharks get back to even strength. And then let's watch on the backside. Wisniewski right here with Pavelski. And oh boy, yeah, he loaded him up pretty good. That is certainly a 2-minute minor, and we talk about discipline, and that's where you have to have discipline. You finish a power play, you want to be able to get some energy back. Now you're going to have to blow that balloon right back up again.
In front, Havlat. And it was deflected wide, centering feed and out of the zone. Jody, just to finish my thought on you and a comment that you made about, hey, you never know, you want to become an official now? There was a former player in the National Hockey League, actually more a WHA player, that later became an NHL referee. His name? Paul Stewart.
That's right. One of the best.
Kevin McGuire.
And Paul Stewart, among other things, in fact, I was talking to him here a couple weeks ago. He is now the director of officiating for the KHL.
Wow, he's a tough guy, wasn't he?
Well, I didn't want to say, tough guys make great referees, but yeah, that's right.
Well, he played down in Cincinnati for the Cincinnati Swords of the World Hockey Association, Cincinnati Stingers, of the World Hockey Association, and he was a fan favorite, Jody.
He was a fan favorite as an official.
Yeah, he was. He was classic. He had some great one-liners.
Oh, boy. Well, of course, he threw them, and he threw them both with the left and the right hand, so he would rate the fights the fighters had. He was quite a character, and is quite a character. Cannon with a pass on the wing. Wingle pulls up on the board. In that slot, Jackets defend and walk it out. A minute left of the Wisniewski penalty. And a face-off will come back into Columbus territory.
Well, college and high school students enjoy a night out and experience Blue Jackets hockey with CBJ Student Rush tickets presented by Papa John's. Tickets start at just $15, and each ticket includes a free offer from Papa John's. So go to bluejackets.com/rush for complete details.
10:02 left. Here in the second period. Jackets with a lone goal. Johansson 18 seconds in. Jackets doing a great job here in killing off this penalty. Now Calvert able to break clear. Walks in and beats Niemi. But the puck glanced off the inside of his skate and trickled out the other side.
Well, I'll tell you what. You talk about second effort. And Jody, you know as well as anybody, you played the game. You have somebody on your back. And you look at Calvert. Watch the active stick here, but then he again takes away one step and is able to get that shot away. Those legs were burning.
Well, how about him picking up the puck here with his skate? He gets past here. Now he's got to battle for position and then put his leg back, get the skate with the puck back up to his stick and keep moving. That's impressive. I don't know why they blew the whistle. Did I miss something?
No, you didn't. What happened was, I believe, Hassenfratz thought that the neck was dislodged as Niemi made the save, but it may have been dislodged, but not displaced. It was not off the moorings, but he had already blown the whistle. Here's Calvert again. Matt Calvert. Great shift for Calvert there. And the Jackets now looking at less than 30 seconds in the kill. Off the stick of Calvert. There's Jack Johnson. An arm around him. Jackets rim around the wall and are able to get it out. Vlasic in pursuit. 12 seconds remain. Wisniewski now standing at the penalty bench. Burns sends ahead. Havlat on to Burns. Former top pick of the Minnesota Wild rifles one in. The former defenseman converted to a forward. Fires in on Bobrovsky, who holds on.
Well, our Blue Jackets team of reporters from FoxSportsOhio.com will be there every Wednesday during the Olympic break, talking about all things Blue Jackets and the biggest news items from around the hockey world with you on your weekly Rinkside Chat. Log on every Wednesday night, that starts at 8 o'clock, on FoxSportsOhio.com and join in on the Hockey Talk.
Jackets have been outshot 9-3 here in the second period, but I don't believe, Jody, that's indicative of the play here in the second.
No, I think they've come out and played well. They've given up. I mean, this has just been a power play here. It's the second one, I think, this period. But, they have to limit these chances because a team like this, and learn from last night in L.A., they gave them too many power play chances, and that gives teams to feel good about what they're doing, passing the puck, skating. They got to really limit that there, and that'll keep the shots down.
I know that Todd McClellan, that's exactly what he talked about all week long. Get some shots on net. Generate something. Not happy with the work ethic. Not happy with the shots.
Well, Wisniewski back out of the box. Jackets are at full strength. 8:59 left. And we'll be back.
2-1, Jackets still trail the Sharks here at the Shark Tank. But, Jody, one thing that's really been a bright spot for the Jackets on this entire trip has been their penalty kill. They killed 6 of them last night. They've killed everything so far tonight. What's behind it?
It's kind of their identity. To kill a penalty, you have to work hard and smart, and that's what the Blue Jackets play to in a regular series. So they're getting that done, but they're playing with fire. You can't give these teams opportunities to get out there and get in that rhythm.
Yeah, the bad news is they're taking the penalties, so you got to be a little more disciplined, right?
That's right. You got to be disciplined, especially like L.A. Kings, Anaheim Ducks, San Jose Sharks. So got to watch this here now.
It's great to see that confidence in that offensive side of the penalty kill as well. Good pressure, and the guys staying with it.
Centering pass, knocked away there by Shepard. Incidentally, with the 3 kills here tonight, the Jackets have now killed off 49 of the last 60 opposition power plays. 2-1 hockey game. 2 goals in the first by San Jose. One here seconds into the second period by Ryan Johansson on a clearing attempt by the Sharks. A wrist shot from high, just inside the blue line. And it beat Niemi. Nice stop there by Bobrovsky. He has been awfully sharp here, particularly in the second period, with the shot advantage, at least. Not necessarily territorial play, but 3 power plays here in the second. They've certainly created some scoring chances tonight in the second period for San Jose, and Bobrovsky has stood tall on all of them.
In one area of the ice, the Jackets in front of that net. You've got to help Bobrovsky out and take away, especially that shot in tight.
Less than 8 minutes left in the second. Brown sends it wide of the net. McKeaton spins and turns away from the forecheck. Dumps it down. Knocked down here by Jenner. Jenner onto Atkinson. Lets one fly. That's off the mask of Niemi. That kind of fooled him there.
It hit the... Yeah, okay, they whistled it down. Thought they were going to continue play, but the linesman caught it. It hit the netting behind the net here, Niemi.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Jackets did a nice job getting up and out of the zone, and you'll see Atkinson. He knocks that down, and then look at this. Dubinsky knocks it down, and then the shot by Atkinson. Niemi never even had a chance to see it. Good quick release by Cam Atkinson. Talk about that line, just playing aggressive, and it starts with Dubinsky.
And you talked about Nikitin. I mean, what a play to flip that puck out. Just a heads-up, quick look up to the forward. That worked out pretty good.
Yeah, he fought off the forecheck real quickly and got rid of it. He, again, even prior to the Olympic announcement, has certainly stepped up his game on the Jackets' blue line, without question.
Yeah.
Going now, a foot race here in Wingles. Wisniewski. Right point. Atkinson unable to get to that puck. Niemi will come way out of the net to play it, with Dubinsky coming quickly. Off the wall. Chip, and then cleared. The pass for Wingles from Pavelski fails, and it's an icing call against San Jose.
Well, after every Blue Jackets game, Fox Sports Ohio breaks down the game, talks to the players and the coaches on Blue Jackets Live, presented by IGS Energy. IGS Energy. Take control of your natural gas and electricity costs and enroll today at IGSenergy.com.
Face off to the left here of Niemi. Sorry about that, Jody.
I think it was Billy. To me?
That was Mrs. Davidge, Jody. Mrs. Davidge in the stands tonight. Flew in. We're going to spend our week here in the wine country.
That'll be nice.
Good getaway for Mama. And there's a look at Todd Richardson. We know what he's going to be doing. Again, try to get his way over to Sochi. Certainly a thrill for a young guy out of Minnesota. He played the game well. He's coached the game and is learning each and every day, he says. And they'll never stop learning. But certainly what an honor to represent your country in the Olympic Games.
And when he was here in San Jose, I was here with him. He was an assistant coach and just a great guy to be around. Players loved him, and good to see him having all this success as a head coach here with the Blue Jackets.
We're getting the recognition. Dan Bilesma, of course, who he coached with previously. Oh, look at Bobrovsky with back-to-back stops there from point-blank range. Bobrovsky moving superbly there. And speaking of the Olympics, in my opinion only, he should be the starting goaltender for Team Russia.
Now look at that center drive right there. Again, you have a good play there by Havlat getting the shot away. He knows he's got Pavelski there, and then Wingles coming in off that backside looking for that rebound. But Bobrovsky, he threw up both pads and was able to control that rebound.
Bobrovsky will have some main competition, and it will come from the Colorado netminder, Semyon Varlamov. But certainly based on what we've seen from Bobrovsky here, as we mentioned from the outset of tonight's game, his last 15 starts, 12 wins, just 2 losses in those 15 games, with a 2.103 goals against average and a .933 save percentage. Almost the numbers to where he was last year winning that Vezina Trophy after a slow start for him and the Blue Jackets. Less than 6.5 minutes left. That one will be interesting to watch. Who is the starting goaltender? And as you get a look there at Niemi after making that stop, he one of 3 Finnish goaltenders, and Jarmo Kekalainen will make the decision along with Jari Kurri as to who the starting goaltender is for Team Finland.
Well, fans, the All-Star Passport is the best way to guarantee tickets for the 2015 NHL All-Star Weekend. Lock in your seats to see hockey's biggest stars. You can do that right now. You'll enjoy 6 games of your choice at preferred pricing this season and the best seats at the best prices for a quarter, half, or full season plan next season. For details, go to BlueJackets.com today.
Both teams running set plays off that faceoff. You saw Foligno behind the Johansson there. A little adjustment from the Sharks.
Interesting to see Foligno on the left wing as opposed to Boone Jenner.
Yeah.
A different look here from Coach Richards looking for the equalizer.
Yeah, and Calvert was out with Umberger and Anisimov, so he's mixing things up.
Johansson clears a backhand to center. Vlasic hustles after it. They're reaching for it as Horton couldn't get a stick on it. Move deep into the zone. Jackets, Johansson, touch pass there. And Nathan Horton dumped in. Niemi hands it off. Horton pressures. The zone's cleared. And it's icing.
Well, right now you can see things starting to settle down for the Columbus Blue Jackets. No question. You talked about earlier on, Jeff, and the big number here tonight. He is number 1. Passes Daryl Sutter. Tell you what, one guy that you talk about pay your dues, but he's been around winning coaches and spending the time with Mike Babcock in Detroit. That certainly didn't hurt. You build philosophies. If you're around the best, you become the best.
Now both these coaches on the opposite benches have worked together, and both have learned their trade and applied their trade with hard work.
Talking of hard work, Boone Jenner is working in the corner here. He just ran at Demers, and then he's trying to protect the puck. Lost it. Good work by Boone.
They got 3 lines that have been switched up here, at least the left winger's on. They got Jenner now with Dubinsky and Atkinson. Atkinson with Jenner. An effort to get a little more offense here. Jackets scored but 1 goal last night. They've got 1 here tonight. Desjardins. Turned around. There's a penalty coming on Savard. Tripping will be the call. Well, they'll call it interference. Nonetheless, Jackets will have to kill off yet another power play. Number 4 here in the second. Back here in San Jose. 2-1. Sharks lead. They're about to go to the power play. But first, tonight's AT&T Rewind. And for that, we head to Pittsburgh. Penguins are hosting the Rangers. New York lead 3-2 in the third.
And with less than 3 minutes to go in that hockey game, who else is going to be involved in the scoring? How about James Neal, his 20th from Mata and Magnet? That made it a 3-3 game. Now we go to the shootout. Brad Richards coming in. Again, he looks to go glove side, goes back the other way to beat Fleury. They win it in a shootout. 2 points for the Rangers.
Savard to the box. The call is interference. 15-26. 4th power play for the Sharks. They're 0 for 3. They've had 6 shots. All 3 of their power plays, the back-to-back double minor assessed to Jack Johnson, and the Wisniewski cross-checking penalty, all coming here in period number 2. So 6 of their 13 shots in the second will come with the manpower advantage.
Talked about being
high stick
disciplined.
there on Letestu.
Talked about being disciplined is one of the keys of this game. Yeah, structurally, I think overall the Jackets have done a nice job. But boy, they're back to, just playing with fire.
Now the Jackets are aggressive on the penalty kill. Note the improvement, but nobody is more aggressive than Matt Calvert's been tonight.
He's surprising with his speed, and that's what he does, and that's what the Blue Jackets do with their identity. They surprise teams, get in there quick.
Shot by Boyle. Bobrovsky the stop. Played there by Tilton. Off the skate of Anisimov. Calvert walks to the line and then wisely bounces it to the open corner. Jackets will get some fresh legs on the kill. 3 minutes and 30 seconds left. Less than a minute remaining in the Savard penalty for interference. Patrick Marleau, who has the second of the 2 San Jose goals. Up high, Braun able to keep it in. Rimmed around the wall, Wisniewski in pursuit. James Wisniewski finding a lane, sends it up, but not out. Boyle able to save it as he pinched it along the wall. R.J. Umberger finds a lane, and he'll dump it. Niemi out to play. to the right wing boards on to Patrick Marleau in full flight. Marleau hits Pavelski at the line. Back for Marleau off his stick, and it's Wingels. A centering pass thrown back to the point here. Braun, Boyle on here for Wingels. Cross-site, the alert stick there, and it's out of play. And there's a player, I have not called his name for several minutes, and he's not been out there on the power play. His name, Joe Thornton.
Yeah, what a play right there by Ryan Murray. Again, the good penalty kill. You talked about the pressure in the zone. They put 3 abreast. Take away that. And again, you watch the backside where, again, Murray, he looks, and in good anticipation is that cross-ice pass through the seam. And Murray's able to step up and chip it up and out of play.
It's a little odd not having Thornton on a power play, Jody?
Yeah, I didn't pick that up, but I wonder what's going on there. A little message, maybe?
16 power play points, second on the team to Pavelski, 21. Bobrovsky's down, and he'll hold on. Not that I necessarily want to see him on the ice, but I just think it's odd that he's not.
Well, there is a look at Jumbo Joe. You can tell some stories about this guy, too.
Oh, yeah, look at that spray tan he's got going.
Shaved the beard off.
I saw him today.
He looks like he's a little upset here.
He could be.
Think he's a little upset he's not out there?
Yeah, he likes to be out there. But, you know, I like...
Subtle message, though, Jody. Coach to player.
I like the way that the Sharks are overpassing the puck. It's good for the Blue Jackets. They're taking away lanes, and this is what San Jose gets away from their game. It's because the Blue Jackets are working so hard and taking away those shot lanes.
Jack Johnson lifts it up and out. It bounces wide of the net, and the Emmy will leave it right there for Demers. Penalty is over. Jackets now 4 for 4 on the kill. They have killed off 50 of the last 61 opposition power play. Outstanding penalty killing by Columbus. Tripped up there is Tootin. That's going to draw a penalty.
Well, it comes at a great time right now when you look at the score clock. 2:16 to go in the second period. Again, San Jose, 4 power plays here in period number 2. This will be the Jackets' second in the second period. Their 4th overall for the night. You take a look. Tootin, good positioning. And the stick down. And a minor penalty.
17:44. Jackets are 0 for 3 with 5 shots. And Kearns is off for tripping. He is the son, signed as a free agent here by the Sharks, the son of a former NHLer, Dennis Kearns, who played 10 seasons in Vancouver with the Canucks.
Yeah, this young Bracken Kearns has really put forth the effort to be an NHL player.
Our side of the ice, out of the university system in Canada. Played 4 years in Calgary for the Dinosaurs.
And a degree in economics.
James Wisniewski with less than 2 minutes remaining. Left wing pass, Johansson. Horton is there, tripped up at the line and offside, the result.
This is where the Jackets, this has been their best. When they get a chance to get up through the neutral zone with speed, they really haven't had much of a problem. And there's one guy that's really added to it. One of them, Ryan Johansson. The other one is going to be Horton. But when they get on the ice, they utilize each other with that speed across the blue line. Then they get a chance to set up from there.
Nathan Horton very upset there as he was hauled down at the line to force that offside by Desjardins. He went back at Desjardins. The last thing you want to see Nathan Horton do is fight. And he went back at Desjardins and started jawing at him, pulled his stick to grab him over.
I like that. Good jawing.
Yeah.
Let him know, you know. That's a good sign from Horton.
Puck thrown back to the point, Wisniewski. James Wisniewski. Jack Johnson fires in front. Jackets cannot send the rebound home with Niemi sprawled right in the blue paint.
I'll tell you what, that was a good tip. And Jody, it looked like the tip went right off the shin pad of the jacket.
Yeah, there was something. There was changed direction there, but great shot by Jack Johnson with his head up, kept it low. Niemi had to work for that one.
Less than a minute to go. 40 seconds remaining in the power play. Rimmed around the wall, up high, Jack Johnson. Goes across ice, Wisniewski. Atkinson. Foligno camped right in front of the Emmy. Dubinsky. Atkinson fires. Big rebound. Puck went high. Jacket Dubinsky plays it. 22 seconds left in the power play. Jack Johnson top, near circle. Wisniewski lets it go. Blocked Back up high once more. Burish trying to drop in front of it. Cross ice, Dubinsky. Dubinsky with a shot and glancing off of Niemi. Jack Johnson dropped to the ice there by McCarthy. The penalty is over. Kern steps back on. Final seconds. Tick off here in period 2.
Well, they moved the puck around well. The execution was there. The passing was perfect.
Jackets, Horton back on the ice. Nathan Horton chips it off the boards. Backhanded there by Johansson. And the zone is clear. And for much of the, well, I'd say the good final 8 to 10 minutes of that second period, we did not see Joe Thornton on the ice. He was on the bench, as you saw. And after 40 minutes of play, this is a 2-1 hockey game. Sharks leading the visiting Blue Jackets. Columbus Blue Jackets hockey on Fox Sports Ohio. Brought to you by Roush Honda. For the best deals on new wheels, it's Roush Honda. Set for third period play. Sharks first of the two teams out. Jeff Rimmer, Bill Dabbich high above the ice surface. And joining us at ice level tonight, former Blue Jacket and San Jose Shark, Jody Shelley. And Jody, we were talking earlier about officials in the game. Talked about Paul Stewart and other former referees in the building tonight. In fact, just visited with him during the intermission. And tonight he is the supervisor, none other than Nick Magoo, an old buddy of yours. And talking to Magoo, I had assumed in an earlier broadcast that his son was now officiating in the NHL as a linesman. I said, is that your son, Mick? And he said, no. He is not a chip off the old block. And that's a good thing.
How about that?
You remember Mick Magoo? You ever have any Mick Magoo stories? Or?
Oh, he was, boy, he was something else. He was a character. He was a guy that would say things and almost make you stop and take you out of the game. Like, you know, it's just a real interesting character. Kind of funny, but really off the cuff. And he kept you at arm's length, I'll tell you that. Not very nice words most of the time, but he got his point across.
Oh, for sure.
You're being very kind. I'm telling you what. You are very kind.
He's up here.
Must be your birthday.
He's up here tonight, and he is with the National Hockey League, taking a bit of a break here. What with the Olympics ahead, he said he's going to go watch some American Hockey League hockey in Abbotsford. And just a matter of interest here as we begin the third period. Not once, but twice tonight, Mike Hassenfratz was shaken up. And he is not presently on the ice. Greg Kimmerly, the lone referee. So we're back to the old days of one referee and two linesmen for the balance of the hockey game.
Jackets have been known to get rid of a few referees in their day. Dan O'Rourke just a few weeks ago was another one.
Horton carries into the zone. Offside. How about the IGS Energy Performers through 40 minutes of play?
Well, you don't have to look any further than the goal by Johansson. That puts him on the board. But Jack Johnson, another night. He's getting his shots away. Certainly plenty of ice time. And he's a guy he's a game changer. With he and Tootin, they can make things happen.
Jack Johnson played 31 minutes plus last night in Los Angeles. And he's almost at the 18-minute mark here tonight, early in this third period.
The more the better, he says. He loves it.
And he's playing against the best players.
Shot right in on Bobrovsky. And held by the Jackets netminder, which will enable us to check out tonight's AEP Power Play summary.
Well, the Jackets have 4 opportunities, and again, in that zone, they did an outstanding job. Had a chance to show you exactly what the penalty killer did, and there's a look at Todd Richards. It says right now, Jody, you reinforced it. The identity of your team goes through your special teams, and especially that penalty kill.
Yeah, it's true. It's that hard, smart work that you got to do, and it's disciplined work and relentless, and that's kind of their identity. If you think about it, you love seeing them play with that mold.
Well, we were discussing various business aspects here during the last whistle stoppage. There was a bright young gentleman that was shown on the big screen and got a loud cheer here.
That was
in
funny.
San Jose, and that was none other than Jody Shelley.
How about that? Nice crowd here, boy. I tell you, I had 2 good years when I left Columbus, and had some fun here.
I'm sure in our future trips, one of them will retire the jersey.
A lot of Raptor space up here.
There's a shot by Vlasic. Nice stop, and Atkinson will clear it the length of the ice. That's a nice touch by the Sharks. That's a real heads-up play there to allow that and pay a little tribute to a former member of the San Jose Sharks in the name of Jody Shelley. Class act.
And Jody, you know, when you think of this hockey team, who's the one player that stands out to you, whichever reason, for whatever reason?
Well, Joe Thornton. I mean, he's a guy that's just incredible. You see him anytime. He's so relaxed. He's one of the best players in the world. And he's got that demeanor. You want to be around him. It's infectious. So for me, it's Joe Thornton, but he just makes people around him better on the ice and off the ice.
He loves the game, and he's got a great sense of humor, does he not?
Yo, unbelievable.
Speaks his mind, too. There's Havlat. Centering pass. Picked up there by R.J. Umberger. And he'll bounce it deep into San Jose territory. 90 seconds plus gone here in period number 3. Wingles can't find the handle, nor can R.J. Umberger. Wingles carries it on that right wing, walks around Nikitin, throws it in front. Bobrovsky able to knock it away, up high. Stewart on here for Braun. It ricochets off the leg and wide. Braun with a nice stop at that right point, able to keep it in on to Pavelski. Ricochets right in front of Wingles. And there, Bobrovsky able to hang on.
Well, there's Tommy Wingles, and he's turned into a pretty solid professional hockey league player. Spent 3 years at Miami University, and I watched him score a lot of college goals. Good, quick release. He's relentless, shows great hands. And I'll tell you what, he and Pavelski working together, that's where the offense has to come from for this hockey team. Those two youngsters making things happen.
Wingles made his debut against the Blue Jackets. Desjardins. Pressured there. Along the wall. Burrish comes up with it. Desjardins. Jeff Johnson defends. Up high. Stewart. Down the dasher. Braun in off the point. Braun. Let it roll off his stick. Brown held in check by Jack Johnson. Burrish along the boards. McKenzie able to knock it out of the zone. Desjardins brings it right back in. Burrish up high. Gloved and held by Bobrovsky. Now we have a moment. Let's check out tonight's 4-game summary. Little talking going on. The Jackets doing their best to step in front of Bobrovsky and keep him away from some of that trash talk right now. Horton's got something to say to Desjardins, and that carries over from the second period. If you recall, we had pointed out that Horton was upset that he was tripped up and forced an offside.
Jackets have 6 guys, 2, 4, 6, 7 guys on the ice here. Murray and Wisniewski are getting out of there. They just got off the bench.
Well, that's what you like to see with Nathan Horton. He doesn't have to drop the gloves, but I'd like it right now that he is involved. And again, it is verbally. He will take the body, but again, there's a pest, and you know a little bit about Adam Burrish. He'll get under your skin. And a great job there by McKenzie. Just give him a little counteract. Good job there by McKenzie.
There's Johansson in there too.
You know, it's just a Pac-Man mentality. I love it.
Well, it all started because of the trash talking done in front by Burrish on Bobrovsky. And that's what upset the Blue Jackets, and Horton was the first guy in there, and he wanted to make sure that the Sharks knew that that wasn't going to be tolerated.
And as you say as well, went back to that second period a couple of instances. You'll love to see that from your hockey team.
Thornton gets it ahead here for Burns. Burns fires a shot. It's off Bobrovsky. Boyle up high. Back in the neutral ice. Hammered in off the glass. Far side of the ice was Wisniewski. Wisniewski for Horton. Horton's pass. Bouncing over the stick of Jenner. Shot back into Jackets territory. Wisniewski will try again. Here he finds Johansson. Murray. Horton on the left wing. Horton looking for his first goal in 8 games. Sends it towards the net. That one is fought off. Olsen 7. So he's been hanging around that net and playing with an edge here tonight.
Yeah, the blood's boiling. That's might lead to something here.
Battle along the wall. Out of the zone. Turns, races in after it. Played here by David Savard. Savard brings it around the wall. Out of the zone. Vlasic fires back in. Sharks will have to clear. Having cleared the zone, Demers steps up on to Shepard. Shepard gets it to McCarthy. Oh, kick save. That right pad of Bobrovsky. Savard away from Shepard. And this game has taken on a new personality. Physical play in every corner.
Well, the Jackets, this is their game. This is what they want.
Shot fired wide there by Pavelski. Jackets have got to answer the Sharks here right now. Physicality is something Todd Richards talked about before the game that we could expect to see. Speed and physicality. The Jackets have got to match that.
You can sense the hunger down here at ice level, guys. Both teams are going at it.
A 2-1 hockey game as we approach the 5-minute mark of the third period. Burrish rifles it wide. Vlasic off the point. Stick to side by Bobrovsky. Matt Calvert holds off Vlasic. Wingels looking to walk out of the corner. Wingels. Havlat to the point. Vlasic. Kick save. Rebound. Shoveled into the net by Wingels. Bobrovsky makes the initial stop. Wingels follows up and sweeps the puck into the empty net.
Well, the one thing that they do well, they utilize that entire offensive zone. They stretch out the Jackets. Again, you can see it on the left side. Shots being taken and then force the net. There's presence there. Wingels is there. You've got Pavelski. He's at the top of the crease. But Wingels basically out-muscles him at the defenseman, as well as you can see it just go off of Bobrovsky. And Wingels beats Dubinsky to the net to make it a 3-1 game.
Wingels' second goal in as many games. He extends a point-scoring streak with his 12th goal of the season. It was his overtime winner Wednesday that gave these Sharks a 2-1 victory here over the Dallas Stars. 3-1. Bobrovsky. On for Jack Johnson. Humberger hits Fenner Tutin the left wing for Foligno. Jackets must clear the zone. They call the offside. 14:21 left.
Well, right now, again, they just played a little over 5.5 minutes to start period number 3, and already the San Jose Sharks have compiled 11 shots on goal to the Jackets 1. Once they get into that offensive zone, the defense, they pinch along the wall, and then they force the traffic down in front of the net. And you can see, again, each time that they do, there is presence there to be able to come up. And in that situation, Wingels collects the rebound.
Demers and Vlasic draw the assist at 5:11, a 3-1 San Jose lead. McKenzie with a clearing pass looking for Corey Trout. Trout down that right wing. Drilled along the wall there by Stewart. And Trout goes back. Meantime, Desjardins comes in off the wing. Poke check there by McKenzie.
Great play by McKenzie to get back and get a stick in the lane.
Corey Trout with a thundering hit in the corner after taking the initial hit from Stewart. Burns. Won't take much to get something going here. Burns with a left wing pass. In front, Marleau looking for the handle. Down is Bobrovsky. He'll hold on. As we go to break, one more look at that hit. A 3-1 San Jose lead. Sharks lead by 2. And tonight's Ohio Health great save.
Well, you go back to period number 2. And again, the one thing that the San Jose Sharks do, they funnel the puck towards the net purposely, trying to force a rebound. You see Havlat with the shot. Watch Wingels come in on that right side with a backhand. And Bobrovsky comes up with 2 key saves. There's a look at Tommy Wingels on the advisory board of the You Can Play project presented by Brendan Burke at Miami University. A lot of kudos to Tommy Wingels and his efforts off ice.
Less than 13.5 left. Regulation time. Wisniewski sends to the line, but Hannon able to keep it in at the point. Foligno fights off the check. Wingels gets it right back. Chipped into the zone. Havlat on that right wing, swept away by R.J. Humberger. The 2 battles below the goal line now. Pavelski there as well. Jackets able to fish it free, and it's Wisniewski. Will send it out of the zone with a pass for Foligno. Foligno dumps in, and Anisimov in pursuit. Hannon defends. Swept by Hannon, by Anisimov. Boyle hit behind the net there by Foligno.
Jody, this is a different San Jose hockey team than in the past. When you look at the Ryan Close that have gone, this is a much quicker team with quick transition through the neutral zone.
Yeah, they are. They've gotten a little younger, too. Torres is out. He's quick. Logan Couture is out. He's a big part of this team. And that Thomas Hertl would have been Rookie of the Year, they say, if he would have stayed healthy, but he got hit. And he's out.
Did he ever get off to a terrific start? And was destined, if he continued that torrid pace, to be.
You know who put him out?
Yeah, it was Dustin Brown that knocked him out. Cost him much of the season with a knee injury and surgery.
And this San Jose Sharks team, they're counting on these guys to get back for their playoff push. And I think that the Jackets here are at the right time. They got to spend more time on the offensive part of this rink, the offensive zone. Too much time in here. The Sharks can do damage down in the offensive zone. You got to get out of here.
Jody, you talk about Couture. Without him, the Sharks on the power play are 5 for 41. It's exactly 1 month since he last played a game, and no doubt would have been part of Team Canada had Couture stayed healthy.
Yeah, that's 12%. That's low. Very, very low. And that's he's that guy. He drives a lot of this team, and he's very skilled.
That's quick math. Forget the skill.
That was, wasn't it?
Yes, thanks for noticing. I'm impressed. You got a calculator down there or what?
No, I don't.
Herrick. Burris there on to Brown. Backhanded and out. Carried in across the line. Lechestu rips it wide of the net. Burris back to play it. Outlet pass. Desjardins chips it by Wisniewski, who will defend. Wisniewski battles against Desjardins, who throws it up high. Pavelski with a shot that was deflected just wide. Bobrovsky did not see it till the last moment. Approaching the midway point now of the third period. Pavelski digs it free. Pavelski with a backhand. Desjardins on to Dan Boyle off the point. Pavelski from one knee rips it wide. Boyle off that backboard. Sharks with a territorial advantage here in the third period. They have the lone goal. Jackets been outshot by a decided margin here in the third. Corey Trout able to send it back to the San Jose territory.
No, right now, San Jose, they just have a step on the Jackets. That's the one thing. The second thing is every time they get it, and that's why they have 41 shots on goal, everything is directed to the net.
Look at Havlat walk in, offside, Burns on that right wing, ahead of the puck carrier, and the offside call with 9:49 left. Back here in San Jose, Sharks leading the Blue Jackets 3-1. Jeff Rimmer along with Bill Davidge. Jody Shelley down at ice level, and gentlemen, we're down to the final 24 after this one. Your thoughts?
I think the key right away, Jody, when you take a look at the Metropolitan Division, you take care of your own. Those are 4-point games. The back-to-backs, usually on the back of the second night, it's going to be a Metropolitan Division team.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's an interesting year when you have an Olympic break like this, and it's going to be a push. No one's going to do any favors for the Blue Jackets, and there was one thing they learned last year. Every single point is valuable.
Barlow lets one fly. It's off the netting. Just to continue the thought there just before we continue play here, the fact of the matter is the Blue Jackets certainly are very much alive and in this playoff hunt. And when you look around and see just how close these teams are bunched, my question to you, Jody, would be what about momentum? And the fact that the Jackets have certainly played well. They come in here tonight 11-3-1 in their last 15 games overall, and now going to have a break close to 3 weeks along with these other teams. What happens? Who has the advantage? Is there an advantage?
Well, it's interesting. I think every team has that question throughout the league, and sure there's an advantage. There's some rest period. There's some time to get away. There's some time to... The season is segments, and the last push, there will be some great hockey scene all over the world.
There's a goal, and the Jackets are back to within one. A centering feed, tic-tac-toe. Johansson, Horton combine, and Jenner pulls the trigger. It's a 3-2 hockey game here with 9:15 left.
Well, this is a team that just will not die. They will not go away. You can look at shot totals. You can look at everything else involved in the game tonight. But watch this play by Johansson. A little back pass. And again, you see Horton try to get a hold of it. Here's the play right now. Good anticipation by Johansson. And what a sharp play. And then Jenner staying with the puck. Great job right there by number 19, but then you have Jenner on top of the doorstep to be able to pull this game within one.
Well, he got one called back earlier tonight on the high stick, but he is in double figures here in his rookie season with goal number 10. Boone Jenner.
Blue Jackets goal is 10th goal.
That was a ridiculous pass by Johansson.
It was the anticipation ahead of time, Jody. You know, that's the key with that guy. Again, as that puck goes and they try to go D to D, well, he basically sets it up and in the same motion between the legs back out to the front of the net.
From 8 Horton and 19 Johansson at 10:45.
10:45, the time of the goal. Once more, a one-goal game. Jackets have registered but 2 shots on Niemi here in the third period. Horton and Johansson draw the assists at 11:45. Shepherd, far side of the ice. Sweeps it back here to Stewart. Stewart with a shot, ricochets in front. Tossed to the corner there by Kern. McCarthy. Back up high. Takes it back from Stewart. Wrist shot off a leg and wide. That one Calvert stepped in front of. Shakes it off. Played here at the right point. Sent towards the net off Braun. And picked up by Cam Atkinson. Dubinsky scoops through the neutral zone. Little pushing and shoving. Meantime, Dubinsky trying to walk around Braun. Thrown to the ice with a cross check. Again, we're down to one referee here. Mike Hassenfratz took a spill in the first period. And again in the second, and is not out for the third period here tonight.
Well, fans, the Jackets will be back home at Nationwide Arena following the Winter Olympic break for a matinee contest against the Florida Panthers on Saturday, March the 1st. That is a 2 o'clock start. Get your tickets now at BlueJackets.com or via the Blue Jackets mobile app.
7:52 left. 41-19 are the shots favoring San Jose. McKee. High off the glass. McKenzie unable to play it back at center ice. It's backhanded by Corey Trop. Niemi out of the net to play, and on to Scott Hammett. Off a skate. Shot by Letestu, gloved and held by Niemi with 7:29. Well, long time between this telecast and our next after the Olympic break. Jackets will start on the road in New Jersey against Martin Brodeur and the New Jersey Devils. Our coverage will begin 6:30 with Blue Jackets Live pregame and the opening faceoff at 7 right here on Fox Sports Ohio.
Brodeur in the net, Yager having a heck of a year, and the Jackets looking forward to having him in their building.
And that is one of those proverbial 4-point games against a Metropolitan Division rival. Outlet pass. Jack Johnson stands up. Patrick Marleau there. 7:15 left. Burns. Chased there by 2. Thornton locked off the puck. Thornton down that right wing. Trying to settle it down. Thornton Chale. Thornton hangs on. Reluctant to give it up. Steps away from Dan Boyle. Hands it there to Jack Johnson. Johnson on to Tootin. Lets one fly. Rebound. Thornton tries to send it home. And it's knocked down in front by the Sharks. They'll walk it to the line and out.
Good anticipation there by Horton on that backside. That puck just a little bit away from that net, but he stayed right with it. I'll tell you what, he's got a little spark, a little fire under him right now.
He's played with an edge.
He really has, and that's what this team does. You feed off of that. Everybody on that bench begins to feed off of it. This line right now with an Isimov, Foligno, that's what's exactly what you want. You want guys involved. Umberger as well.
Puck sent into the zone. Hustling forward here is Pavelski. In the corner, Havlat off the mark. Up high, Demers looking for Wingle. Havlat An interference could have been called there as he stepped in front of Wisniewski. Murray on to Foligno. Puck turned over. Havlat, Wingles, back to Havlat. Back to Wingles, and he can't redirect, but Wingles with a high stick there on Bobrovsky. Meantime, Braun walks into the zone, drops it back. Vlasic throws it behind the net. Wingles will knock it down in the corner. Loose puck from a sharp angle, saved Bobrovsky. R.J. Umberger. Outlet pass here for Foligno with Anisimov. Foligno hangs on, tries to walk around the defenseman Stewart, is able to poke check it away. Pavelski away from Foligno, steps to center. Hangs on to it before dishing to the left wing boards. A shot, Bobrovsky's got it, and he'll hold on.
It's time now to take a look at this.
As we go to break, as I mentioned moments ago, Wingles with a stick to the face of Bobrovsky, more the neck than anything else. Blue Jenner, goal number 10 tonight. Jackets trail by 1, and he is the subject of tonight's Big Lots Big Play.
Now he is one of 7 players with double digits, but look at the anticipation by Johansson. Cute little back pass into the slot, was really going towards Horton, who was finding his way. And when that puck became available in that slot, Blue Jenner knows where to be able to make hay.
Matt Calvert, long lead pass for Atkinson. Niemi will hold on here as Atkinson comes quickly.
Well, a good set breakout. And that, again, that cross-ice pass, getting the wingers going. How many times have we had a chance to see that? The other night in L.A. to start that hockey game. And again, Atkinson just unable to corral that puck.
Yeah, Calvert made a nice play there to get below the goal line so that McKeaton didn't have to make it all the way around the net. Hit Calvert. Calvert took 2 strides and fired it, knowing that Atkinson has that speed.
Calvert's had a strong game. We'd like to see him rewarded for his play.
Yeah, no question.
Dubinsky. Calvert able to fish it free. Good move there, and then gets it back to Jack Johnson. On here to Fedor Tutin towards the net, deflected wide. Delayed penalty upcoming here. A cross-checking call. And it's against the Blue Jackets, Dubinsky.
Well, that's not the time of the game.
2 minutes, cross-check.
5:15 to go in that offensive zone. And again, the Jackets have been disciplined. But let's go ahead and take a look to see exactly what did happen. And again, Todd Richards looks at the clock, sees he gets a chance to see a replay. And there it is right there. Oh, yeah, once, twice. I mean, you just, again, time of the game, you just can't afford to do that.
Well, it's the one system ref, you know.
It is.
Try to get away with that. Big kill here, guys.
Big kill. They're 0 for 4. 7 shots. He might have got away with it with the first one, but the second one, a little more dramatic. And maybe a little more embellished with that. Icing the call here against San Jose with 4:57 left.
And on the other side of it, again, one of your best penalty killers is Dubinsky. A couple of shorthanded goals. An assist as well. 3 shorthanded points. But now you get Letescu out there, as well as McKenzie. They'll give you some energy.
And won't be too long before we see, not far behind, you'll see Matt Calvert out there. And again, Calvert has certainly had a strong effort here tonight. Doesn't show on the scorecard. Thornton carries in. Cross ice. Vlasic. Jackets block that. McKenzie attempting to clear. Thornton observing. Sends it in front. Off Burns. Tried to shovel home the rebound. Rimmed around the boards. A race for the puck here. McKenzie not giving up much to Thornton. He's able to keep it in with that long reach. Back at the point. Handcuffing Marlowe a little high. Forcing the Sharks out. Demers dumps back in. First and deep in the zone. Loses an edge. Backhanded by Tutin. Pavelski able to knock that down. Pavelski pressured, hands to Thornton. Thornton top of the circle. Looks defeated by and on to Marlowe. Backhanded down in the paint. Covering up Bobrovsky.
And how about a job there again? Well done by Tutin. Again, knowing that you got a guy in front of the net. He loves to pass the puck. And what does Tutin do? He gets down on all fours and takes away that passing lane because the back door is wide open. And here you'll take a look at Bobrovsky. You want to kill penalties? Well, there's the guy that has to do it. Being able to find that puck. A little help from Tutin in front.
That's a great replay. Watching Bobrovsky through all the traffic, getting down, trying to keep an eye on that puck. Focus, the name of his game. And it has been. since he's come back from injury. Less than 4 minutes left.
Nice job there by Johansson on that faceoff.
Back-to-back outstanding numbers for Johansson in the faceoff circle. Braun up high. Braun on to Wingles. Matt Calvert out there on the kill with Anisimov. Out to center. Crosses the line. Tries to fight through. What an effort there by Matt Calvert. Oh.
Well, there's one of the stars of the hockey game. He has left everything on the ice.
Again, I'd like to see him rewarded for some of that hard work tonight. Chipped off the boards by Anisimov. Down to 1 second. Out. Davidsky will step. The Jackets are back at full strength.
Very good kill. And you guys talk about Sergei Bobrovsky making saves. So let me tell you what, they're not just shots. They're guys in front. There's many bodies in front, and they're broken plays that are coming at him that change direction. He's battled all night long, every shot.
Well, they can't really fault him for any of the goals. All of them have been of similar variety. And there was another stop.
I mean, that was a remarkable sequence that just happened right here. It was a shot, a deflection, rebound, and he gathered it in.
Well, he's going to be primed for the Olympic Games. Now the decision to the goaltender coach, and I believe it's Tretiak. Varlamov and Tretiak have a good relationship. Bobrovsky, he wants to go over and just be himself and play. And tell you what, the way he has played,
you watch this here now.
Christmas has been outstanding.
That shot gets slowed down and blocked on the way in. Then there's a rebound he's got to focus on. He bats it over there. Ryan Johansson's there to help him out, but those are, boy, I tell you, those are big plays by him.
And seeing it through all the traffic in front makes it doubly difficult. And yet he keeps his focus. He's able to turn him aside and then cover up the hockey puck. Less than 2.5 left.
This is a key now for the Columbus Blue Jackets defense. They've got to get that puck, get up the ice quick, and join the rush.
Johansson with Horton and Jenner. Line responsible for both goals here tonight. Patrick Marleau across the line. Burns hustles behind the net. Fought off there by Johansson, who wins the battle along the boards. And it's on to Fedor-Tootin.
Great play by Johansson. Used his body, protected the puck. Tootin called for it. He just made it to a safe area. And here go the Jackets.
Tell you what, it's the young guns tonight that have led the way for the Blue Jackets. Yes, they trail by a goal. But how about the performances of the young players tonight? Each and every one of them. Jack Johnson on to Foligno. Left wing at center. Foligno will dump in. Dubinsky in pursuit. Sweeps it behind the net. Foligno fights off the check. Bobrovsky makes his way out of the net. Jackets with the extra skater on. R.J. Umberger off the bench. Wingles sends it out. And back into Jackets territory. Jackets might have been better off letting that one go. I think Wisniewski got a stick on, or a glove on it. That might have gone out of play and maybe a delayed game penalty, but new point now, less than a minute to go. Wisniewski able to keep it in. Good hustle. Throws it back here for Ryan Murray. Murray. High shot. Bounces off into the corner. Johansson. Looking for Foligno. Atkinson camped in front. Johansson looking for some open ice. Backdoor. Murray in front. Niemi lost the goal stick, but the Jackets could not get the shot to the net. Atkinson, Foligno. Final seconds here in this final minute. Umberger was going to go off. Horton ready to come off. And it's set the length of the ice for icing.
Tell you what a play by Ryan Murray coming in from that left point position, and he finds Atkinson in that slot area. And again, a nice play, feeding him right here, and you can look at Atkinson just go off the toe of his stick. He snaps the stick down in the ice with a little bit of disgust, felt that he was in a position to put it away, and he certainly was. But what a play right there by Ryan Murray to set up Atkinson, but to no avail.
Jackets have called a timeout. 25.5 seconds remain. A key face-off. The Jackets over these last couple of nights, they've done yeoman's work in the face-off circle. No face-off more critical than this one coming up.
Well, they have worked, and they've moved themselves up from 15th in the league all the way to 8th. And the other night in L.A. did a nice job. In Anaheim, the same thing. And it's just not one or two guys. Again, it's a bevy of them. Dubinsky was above 50%. And right now, this is a critical face-off with a little traffic. Dubinsky on the ice to take it.
Horton, Dubinsky, Johansson, Foligno, Jack Johnson, and Wisniewski. The Columbus net is empty. Biggest face-off of the night. And Dubinsky wins it. Johansson, the right-hand shot on that left wing. His shot was blocked. Zone was cleared. Jack Johnson onto Johansson, trying to settle it down. Mitchell, pressure it. Final seconds. Johansson's got to move up quickly. It's on to Wisniewski for Horton and offside. .9 seconds remain.
Now you're going to see, I think, the San Jose Sharks. They say no. They're thinking about possibly taking a timeout, but that is not the case. The Jackets did not make any attempt to make any manpower changes. San Jose says we'll keep the same.
Dubinsky and Thornton set for the draw outside the zone. Thornton wins it. Throws it behind his own net. Stewart pressured. Jackets. Dubinsky comes in. Horton is there. Horton trying to dig it free and get it to Foligno. And that's it. The game's over. The San Jose Sharks hang on and edge the Blue Jackets in the first of the two-game season series. 3-2 the final. It's on to the Olympic break. The final score, once more, San Jose wins.